The Trump administration's abrupt and controversial decision to halt most U.S. foreign aid to South Africa has sent shockwaves through the international community, marking a dramatic escalation in tensions between two nations that have historically enjoyed relatively amicable relations. The move, implemented via a stark cable from Secretary of State Marco Rubio and directly stemming from Executive Order 14,204, paints a picture of a rapidly deteriorating relationship, fueled by accusations, rebuttals, and a looming trade war. The executive order, issued on Thursday, cites egregious actions by South Africa as the justification for this drastic measure. The cable, obtained by The Guardian, leaves no room for ambiguity. All State Department entities are instructed to immediately suspend aid disbursements, allowing only the most exceptional circumstances to warrant continued funding. The language is uncompromising. To effectively implement EO 14,204, all bureaus, offices, and missions shall pause all obligations and/or dispersion of aid or assistance to South Africa. The gravity of the situation is further underscored by the delegation of authority to Pete Morocco, a staunch Trump ally known for his role in dismantling foreign aid programs during the previous administration. Morocco will now act as the sole arbiter, tasked with deciding which, if any, aid programs can continue, emphasizing that the criteria for exceptions are exceptionally stringent, a very high bar for such requests, as the cable states. This unprecedented action follows President Trump's inflammatory accusations that South Africa's new land reform laws constitute unjust discrimination against its white citizens. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa vehemently rejected these claims as misinformation, a stark disagreement that underscores the deep chasm of mistrust now dividing the two nations. The accusations, far from being a minor diplomatic spat, represent a significant catalyst for this dramatic shift in U.S. foreign policy. They fueled a contentious exchange, culminating in the current freeze on aid, which throws into stark relief the escalating tensions between Washington and Pretoria. Beyond the immediate impact of the aid freeze, the move casts a long shadow over the future of U.S.-South African economic relations. South Africa's recent announcement that it's formulating a new trade proposal for the Trump administration further underlines the precariousness of the situation. This proposal is a direct response to the anticipated termination of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, a pivotal trade agreement that has enabled billions of dollars worth of duty-free exports from South Africa to the United States. The potential loss of AGOA benefits would be a devastating blow to the South African economy, amplifying the already considerable repercussions of the aid freeze. Adding to the complexity of the situation is South Africa's acknowledgement of the U.S. withdrawal from the Just Energy Transition Partnership, JETP. This withdrawal, a direct consequence of Trump's broader revocation of international climate finance initiatives, has effectively canceled numerous climate projects that were already underway, further highlighting the far-reaching consequences of the administration's actions. The termination of JETP funding not only undermines South Africa's efforts towards sustainable development, but also underscores the administration's broader rejection of international cooperation on climate change, deepening the rift with South Africa and impacting global climate action. The ramifications of this dramatic shift in U.S. policy extend beyond the immediate financial implications for South Africa. The abrupt halt to aid, coupled with the inflammatory rhetoric and the threat to AGOA, signals a significant deterioration in diplomatic relations. It raises serious questions about the future of U.S. engagement in Africa and the broader implications for global stability. The Trump administration's actions have not only jeopardized vital economic partnerships, but also cast a pall over the possibility of future collaboration on critical issues such as climate change and sustainable development. The path forward remains uncertain, with the potential for further escalation looming large. The international community watches with bated breath as the consequences of this bold and controversial decision unfold.